Whether you're in the virtual reality world or here amongst the living, there's a training method for you to practice in the field. We're about to find out how you do that on Gun Talk Hunt.
I'm KJ. You found the right place. We go all over this little blue orb, sharing stories and tactics about chasing wild game. Now, let's get on the hunt.
Welcome in, all you Gun Talk hunters. I'm your host, KJ, and today we've got an exciting show. We're going all the way up to Virginia with Philip Jones of GAIM, and we're going up to Minnesota to talk to the Flushes, Travis, and then we're going to jump down to Tom Stevenson over in Georgia. So a wide range of topics here. But first, this episode is brought to you by Savage Arms and Range Ready Studios. Let's jump right into it. Philip, how you doing, man?
I'm great, KJ. Thanks for having me.
Man, great to have you. Now, give the folks a little background on GAIM. That's GAIM. I've been running the system for a couple years now, and I absolutely love it. Tell us a little bit about GAIM.
Yeah, GAIM is a virtual reality shooting training system. It uses the Meta Quest headset that, we find a lot of people have in their homes already. If you've got a teenager, you've got a 50% chance of having a system in your house, whether you know it or not. We make everything else. So hardware and software, we have a long gun that would double either as a rifle or a shotgun, depending on what type of hunting or shooting that you do. And then we make the different scenarios. So, you have choices everywhere from big game like, sort of moose and elk through wing shooting with pheasant, duck, dove, and then through the clay sports. So 5-stand, trap, the gamut. And then we make a pistol also that can be used on a flat range where you can lay out your own targets. I mean, we even make a dry fire mag that if you're a Glock or a Walther shooter, you can actually install into your own firearm and use within the scenarios. So, really wide range of shooting scenarios that you can practice, year round, day in, day out.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I've noticed on it, my favorite one, I don't know how you guys come up with these scenarios. My favorite one is the bear hunting one, where you get to shoot like a grizzly bear, but they will charge you. That's like one of my favorite ones. You turn around and you look, and there's a bear charging right at you.
We've actually poked them a little bit recently, so they're a little more aggressive than they used to be as well. So
great.
Yeah, it's funny when you put the headset on people. You kind of get that aha moment where they are transported into whatever the scenario really is. And, with the bears, we've had people fall over backwards with bears chasing them. It's hilarious when it happens for everybody. But, when you start hearing its breath coming at you, it gets your attention.
The adrenaline starts to spike and you start to think like, what am I actually doing here? But the scenarios are cool. The education, I think, is a bigger part of it, because you start to talk about real world vitals and how the shots play out within the game and muzzle control. There's safety mechanisms built into it to where am I saying this correctly?
Yeah, you absolutely are. I mean, I think one of the things that we found, in the last year is a home within a number of the state DNRs, and I think where we found partnerships, with organizations, conservation groups and the like, we're all trying to reach the same goal, which is to bring and encourage that next generation of hunters into the sport. And I think, GAIM plays a part in that, because there is a knowledge of how the technology works within that youth group. I find when we're at shows, You can have a kid that comes up and they've never put a headset on before, but somehow within 2 minutes, they know exactly how it works.
Yeah.
And it's kind of giving them some skills that they can then transfer outside to the real world. So it sort of bridges a gap.
Yeah.
As you say, it's a great way to learn fundamentals sort of safely. Because it won't let you do things that you shouldn't be doing. You can't flag other people. You can't shoot without a backstop. You'll get warning signals, for all the bad habits.
Yeah.
And I think, as you say, fundamentally, being patient, learning to place the shot in the right place, is a big part of it. If you hit an animal in a non-vital place, it will run off. You'll get credit for wounding it, but it will run off just like it will in real life. I think one of the big advantages we see with game is especially on the shotgun side. If you're a waterfowl or any type of, wing shooter or clay shooter, if you think back to when you first started, everybody misses. And the frustration can be, I know I'm missing, but I don't know where I'm missing. And, you could have somebody behind you saying, no, you were behind it, you were over it. It's kind of when you first start, it's hard to translate that into anything meaningful. And one of the things I like about the game system is that when you fire a shot, if you're unsuccessful, you will get a big red dot that shows you where your shot pattern was, and you'll get a frozen outline of the target at the time you pull the trigger. So, when you first start, everybody moves the gun until they pull the trigger, right? That's when they stop to pull the trigger. And so people miss behind. And now you start getting that visual representation of that. So people can sort of see for themselves, oh, okay, I see where I missed and I see what I'm doing wrong. And it just helps with those sort of basic fundamentals of understanding, how to make successful shots. And, it doesn't replace anything, but it gives people a little bit of an idea in their head of what it's going to look like when you do step onto the clays range or into the duck blind for the first time. Yeah. You kind of have a little bit more of an understanding, and therefore you're a little bit more confident.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear what Travis Frank of The Flush has to say about this and how it translates into the field, because how I like to use it is I like to use it as a rainy day tool. Like it's like my dry fire tool before I go out. Like if there's days leading up to a hunt where I don't have a lot of time to be able to get out into the field, I at least know I can go in and press the trigger and get some real results and real time. Not necessarily I don't know if I would say like training but it's repetition. It's looking for that shot. Where am I breaking that clay, or how far do I need to lead the birds? One thing that I do want to ask is how do you come up with these scenarios, and can I submit some options for you?
We always love to hear feedback, right? So, we look at what scenarios are getting used the most, and, what can we add? We just added a second waterfowl scenario, which, is so real. I mean, you can see the bark on the trees. I mean, it's really in there.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, so, we take a lot of feedback and we go where our customers want us to go, as far as developing new scenarios.
Yeah. Man, one thing that I would think that would be very interesting is if, like, you set someone in a tree stand and you had a bow component, because you've got the pistol and you've got like a long gun. Oh, what if we started adding a little archery setup with it?
Yeah, it's been discussed, I certainly won't rule it out. It's a different type of sort of hardware we'd have to develop, but we're a relatively young company, and I think expanding into those areas where there's a
Yeah.
need it was, job one for us.
It is. It is one of the coolest things to be able to have this, and I would encourage. This is how we also use it. We also will use this as a tool to show and to let kids experience during wildlife their new hunters instruction. So I'm a instructor for the hunter safety program, and we love to get kids in there. And they may have never been out in the field, but they know their dad wants to get them ready, and they're taking this hunter's ed course, and they love to put that headset on. And you're right, Philip. Man, once they put that headset on, it's almost like they're intuitively like programmed nowadays to understand how that works. And it's absolutely
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, and I think that's why we've seen some sort of really good adoption from the DNRs, because they're trying to recruit, new shooters in, and this is a great way to do it. So as a recruitment tool,
Yeah.
it's fantastic whether they're out at the state fairs or the different things. And we've talked with them about developing hunter safety scenarios.
That would be
within
really
the
cool.
headset.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, I mean, right now you can, with our European counterpart, you can get your Swedish hunting license just using the GAIM system.
Now that's
So,
cool.
because they have GAIM tests, and so you could take those tests online and get your hunting license, virtually, basically.
That's pretty neat. I mean, you guys keep developing, keep continuing, and educating the next generation for sure in a way that they can relate to is what I love about it.
It's a lot of fun. We do a lot of events. We do a lot of youth clays events. We love seeing, competitive shooters coming in and trying it and just seeing that light bulb, as you say, seeing that light bulb go off the first minute that, hey, here's a way I can have fun. And one of the things I like about the system is that ability to cast from the headset onto another screen. So, if you are trying to coach somebody, you can see what they're seeing real time. And that just gives you some flexibility. Also makes it a lot of fun when you take it to hunt camp.
Yeah.
It's amazing how fast you get a lot of feedback on your shooting very quickly. Some of it useful, some of it not.
Yeah.
So I think it is a system that engages fun in doing it as well, which, is why we all do what we do, because we love doing it.
It's good stuff. And that is GAIM, GAIM. You can check them out online. From the virtual world to the real world, let's head out in the field. We're going to jump over to Travis Frank with The Flush. Travis, man, how you doing?
Oh, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me on the show.
Man.
It's fun listening to you and Philip talk about that. We actually have a game set here at our office, and what Philip didn't say is when you cast that onto a big screen where everybody's watching, I mean, think about it. It's like Big Buck Hunter on steroids, but then the heckling that happens here at the office it's so good. It's great. I mean, you get to see all the misses, and then we just ride them.
Yeah, that's one of the more surprising things I think about that. But I think there is a very big element of transferring those like technologically advanced tools to go out into the field and hunt. Especially you talked about pheasants, and that's kind of where that's like right up your alley, man. You're all over the country. You're hunting upland birds, whether it's chucker or bob whites or what have you. But how is that a relatable skill? I mean, have you noticed when you go from virtual reality into the field, do those practices that you find in virtual translate to real world success?
I think so. I really think, Philip, he mentioned it shows your misses, and it helps you kind of wrap your head around, when a clay pigeon is flying away. My kids are really young, so they've been using it, and they can see, first off, I've got a wooden stock that is the same feel and everything as a real gun. So I get to help them shoulder it, and you can adjust it to their length, which is helpful too. So then they're comfortable shouldering it. They know to put their cheek on it. They know kind of line it up, just like if they were out there shooting. So we practice that. And then we go to the range and we shoot clay pigeons. And then we also go hunt. So it keeps them constantly working on their shot. They can see the misses. When they hit it, they know what they did right. They can replicate that. It translates really fast. My kids have really excelled at shooting, and they're really young, but the repetition, I think, is so key. Now when we go duck hunting or pheasant hunting, I mean, my 10-year-old shot rough grouse on the wing through the forest this year and woodcock flying through the forest. I mean, that's hard as an adult to hit that.
Yeah.
And my boys are doing that at 10 and 11 years old now, and I can't speak to one specific thing. I think it's all of it, that practice makes greatness, right?
Yeah.
And it gives them an opportunity to do that. They're not out there spending a lot of money on shotgun shells. I mean, that obviously adds up too.
Yeah.
So the amount of clicks that they can take on a trigger, I think overall it's a good thing. And safety, when you're upland bird hunting, I mean, we can't preach safety enough, obviously. You are an instructor, KJ, and every instructor in America needs to receive a pat on the back, because they're doing something that I think every school should be doing, really, in America.
Oh my gosh. Don't
teach that.
Travis, don't get me on my soapbox, because when they take out firearms education and hunter education from schools, we completely, like, that's when we should have hung it up and said, you know what, we've lost our way. Yeah. Okay. I'm not gonna. Let's talk about the flush.
Sure.
And it's a show you produce, and it's very wildly entertaining. If you haven't seen it, it's on the Outdoor Channel. Talk a little bit about the flush and what you guys were up to this year.
Yeah, so we're always trying to keep the upland bird hunting tradition alive and well. We work really closely. We've partnered with Pheasants Forever and Quail Forever since we started producing the show 20 years ago. It used to be called Pheasants Forever Television. We transferred to The Flush, which is more of an adventure-based upland bird hunting TV show. Conservation is the key to having any birds or wildlife on the landscape. So we still tell those stories, but we do it by taking people on wild adventures. We hunt a lot of public lands throughout North America, from Alaska to Florida, Arizona to Maine. We've hunted basically every bird in North America except for the Himalayan snowcock. That's the only one still on our list. And some people wouldn't classify that as an upland bird in the SLAM because you don't hunt them with dogs.
Okay.
So we really want to share just stories that inspire people to get out and explore. And we do that through bird dogs and wild birds, public lands, and people that are really passionate about them. And this year we hunted from, Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, Michigan, Montana, Idaho, Oregon, Oklahoma, Kansas. Not sure. Maybe we missed something else in there. But like I said, we've been on airboats down in the Everglades to the mountains in Alaska and Arizona. And it's really about the adventure, the pursuit of wild birds that drives us.
Hey, that's absolutely incredible. That's a lot of states to check off in one year. So when you talk about, and you've seen so many diverse terrain and agriculture and topography, what is one of the biggest determining factors if someone wanted to grow their upland population? What are some of the determining factors that guys and ranchers and farmers need to look at to improve their habitat?
Yeah, it doesn't always need to be a lot. I mean, you think about bobwhite quail in Oklahoma or Kansas or Iowa or Missouri. They don't need a lot. They need fence rows. They need some bushes. They need a little bit of grass. They just need a mix. They have to survive a hard winter. And in order to do that, they just need a place to do it. And the number one predator is a hawk. Avian predators take down more upland birds in America than anything else. But you have to give them a place to escape that. And I've done stories in Indiana last year in particular, where all these farmers in heavy ag land, you stretch your arms out, and on a fence row, they just let that much brush grow up. They didn't take the fence row out. And so what that did was it gave those quail a place to, obviously the food that they grow out there, the grains, that's good food. But they need the bugs in the spring. They need some grass. They need some bushes. The natural landscape is designed to hold the wildlife and the wild birds that were here before we disrupted it. So if we can put it back a little bit, I mean, some of those low areas that flood out that shouldn't be farmed, you know, it might be just 2 or 3 or 4 acres in a 100-acre field. But I think the big mission at Pheasants Forever and Quail Forever and a lot of, you know, Ducks Unlimited and a lot of the conservation organizations is just to say, farm the best and leave the rest. And what that does is it just gives wildlife everything they need to survive out there. And it doesn't have to be a full section of CRP grass. That's great if you can do it, but that's hard to do in America today. Yeah. So, you know, finding the places that we can put it back on the landscape, it makes all the difference for these wild critters to thrive. And deer use it just as much. If you create habitat for quail and pheasant, you create perfect white-tailed deer habitat at the same time.
You're right, man. Right. 100% right. I have to ask because I have one. What's your favorite bird dog to hunt behind?
Well, my own, I guess. But
you have to say that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Mine is not.
I like a dog that'll get out there and find the birds. And I've hunted behind almost every dog breed you can think of over the last 15 years. And I've seen some crazy ones out there that probably most people wouldn't think about hunting. But if I were to say one dog that's going to go out there and get it done, it's probably going to be an English pointer or just pointer, depending on what you want to classify them. English setters are really high up there too. And then there's a tool, you know, each dog really is designed for specific habitats and birds. But if you wanted to flush up a pheasant, it's hard to beat a Labrador Retriever. You know,
really?
They get in the thickest cover and they flush them up. You know, the pheasant is going to, there are 3 keys to a pheasant. The first, they're going to run, then they're going to hold tight, then they're going to flush. And so a lab will go into the cattails, into that thick stuff, and they will get those birds up, whereas a pointer is going to lock up, and then you got to go in there and kind of kick it. So, but I run a pointer myself, and I love that dog's drive to get out there and find the birds. Yeah. And when you're on the side of a mountain and you look across, and this white missile's out there, this sniper is flying across the other ridge and locks up on point looking like $1 million. I mean, God. You just stop and you look around and you think, this is where God wanted me to be right now. It is such a beautiful sight to see. And you walk up there and your heart's beating because you know there's something there. You don't know what it is yet. And then just an explosion of wings come out from underneath you. And it just rushes through your body. You can't explain it. You just have to experience it to fully understand it. And, you know, that I think is what really drives an upland bird hunter.
Dude, if you're listening to this or you're watching it, like the passion that I hear come through Travis's voice is exactly the reason why you guys need to tune into the flush, because that energy, you rarely find that energy that just then and the passion. And I appreciate you coming on. I have a German short hair pointer who I think is probably may be close to the world record size of German short hair. He's
small or big?
He is a slim 93 pounds.
Okay.
And I think he's like 26 inches at his front shoulders. Like, so he is.
Does he like to hunt?
Dude, he loves to hunt, but like he shed hunts. Yeah. But I'm telling you right now, this dog, he is a machine. And he'll find them, but he's not sitting for long. He's gonna break at some point.
Well, that's part of the fun too, is I think with upland bird hunting, you are a team with your dog. So a lot of hunters, they spend so much time training with their dog for these moments where they get to go out in the field. And when you see it all come together, you don't get the bird without the dog. And the dog doesn't get the bird without you. So together, when it comes together, it's a beautiful thing. And it's so cool to have that relationship working with the dog. And when you see a couple, a hunter and a dog that are on the same page, and they go out there in the field and it is something that anybody that I've ever taken out there to see it, they want more of it.
Oh,
It
yeah.
hooks them. Pretty soon I'm getting texts from buddies that are seeing it for the first time, and there's puppies for sale, and they go, would you? And I go, 100% yes, every time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now
Go
pretty
buy
soon
that
they've
dog.
got bird dogs. Yeah, it's
Your wife won't
contagious.
mind.
Yep. They can't say no to a cute little puppy. Come on.
You can't. Absolutely
You
can't.
can't.
I don't know. Ask my wife. She can definitely say no.
Mine has said no too.
All right, Travis Frank, man, from the Flush. You guys go check it out. It's great stuff. You're gonna really enjoy it, and you're gonna enjoy the passion that comes through and the conservation efforts that they're doing right now. We are gonna jump in right now with a break from our sponsors. We'll be right back. Looking to trim a few LBs out of your pack or just your firearm? Check out the Savage 110 Carbon Predator. 2 swing swivel studs, matte black carbon steel receiver, 2-piece Weaver style bases, proof research barrel. Yeah, it's carbon wrap, so that's where some of the weight savings is going to come. And you won't be disappointed because they offer it in a lot of different variations. 6mm arc, 223 Remington, 22-250, a favorite of mine, 308, 65 Creedmoor, and 300 Blackout. Now, you're talking about weight. You're talking about, well, how much really is it going to weigh? Trust me, you're going to be able to carry this thing all day. It's under that 7-pound range, so I promise you it's accurate too. So trust Savage 110 Carbon Predator for all your weight savings. Tired of your range time being just mag dumps and Instagram flexing? Enter Range Ready Training, where Director of Awesomeness and everything else, Chris Sereno, turns keyboard warriors into actual warriors. Or something like that. Pretty dang close, I would say. Yeah, the guy's been there, done that. Pistol, check. Rifle, check. Yeah, we got it all. Force on force, we do that every now and then too. Bring your bruises, instructor development. Welcome to the Thunderdome of Learning. It's more than training, it's range ready, because real life doesn't come with a respawn button. All right, we're back, and we're with a good buddy of mine, Tom Stevenson. And I'm telling you, this guy had one of the best seasons that I can remember. And it's only getting better because he's shooting competition now. He just had his first competition, did really well at that one. We're going to have him talk all about it. Tom, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, KJ. Doing really good.
Yeah, it's good to have you back on. We had you back on a little while ago, and we got into a lot of conversations last time. But I want to hear about your 2025 hunting season. We've transitioned into 2026, and now we're going to start our competition. But I want to hear how your hunting season went.
It went well. I killed 2 doe and a 8-point this year. We had a hiccup in where we were originally hunting, and we had to move. Some family stuff happened, and luckily we walked into a 15-acre plot that is surrounded on all 3 sides by a huge hunting club. And that just proves you don't need to be on 1,000 acres to be successful.
Man.
And
I tell people that all the time, and they're like, "Oh, you need a lot of land, like so you can control the deer herd." I'm like, "Well, but if you have the right 5 acres, doesn't matter. Like, if they're using your place, doesn't matter acreage size. You could have 1 acre and kill the right deer. I mean, that's just me. I get in a little debate with people that say, minimum of, 120 acres, minimum of a section, 640 acres, and I just don't believe that. I think you get what you can get, because there's millions of acres out there, public land, that you can go on. Millions of it. I would rather be able to dissect 15 acres and understand 15 acres than trying to pick 15 acres out of a million.
I agree, KJ. And what I did was we got lucky, 15 acres. My brother's boss owns it. He's not big into hunting. He was like, y'all can hunt it. It's all woods. So what I did was, have you ever heard of the Southern Outdoors podcast?
Oh, yeah. Those guys, we've had them on. Those guys are great.
I tried their triangle that they always talk about, where you put a scrape do a 25 by 25 by 25 meter triangle. Put your stand up, do a scrape to the left-hand side. And if you're going to feed, put that off to the right. Because what I have learned about mature bucks is they typically won't go to the feeder.
Right.
So, and that's what I did, and it was very successful.
Really? So,
Yep.
So let me get that. They're making mock scrapes. So they're making mock scrapes in a triangle. Are you in the dead center, or you're the tip of the triangle?
I'm the tip of the triangle. Yep. I'm the apex of the triangle. Yeah. So, and I was like, hey, let me try this. Why not? They were talking about it on the podcast, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this. Sure enough, it works.
Man, I wonder, like, because I'm starting to think of Oklahoma and like what I experience out there. And if I did a feeder tip of the triangle and like, we're talking like, I wonder if it'd be even better if it was like, 100-yard by 100-yard by 100-yard. Like that way you're a ways away. So you're not disrupting it. You're not getting on top of them. I wonder if that would work.
I mean, I'm down to try anything. So I would think it would. I don't claim to be the best deer hunter in the world. I listen, I read, I take advice from guys like you. Because deer are in some areas it's super easy to hunt them. In some areas it's not. Yeah. So, and this 15 acres has had no pressure. Nobody's hunted it for probably 5 years.
Nice. So,
because he bought the property, doesn't hunt. So, my cameras stay active all day long.
That's great. Yeah. Were you doing all day sits? Like, were you in a ground blind? What was your method?
Initially, we just popped up a ground blind, put cameras up, and then I started putting stands up. So
okay. So you're now getting established.
Yes. I mean, we still haven't established. We have been maybe in this 15-acre square. If I could pull Onyx up, I would show it and make better sense. I have probably walked 20 meters into that wood line because I didn't want to disturb anything. Right. And there are trails and rubs and scrapes everywhere. So
I like walking to a property like that. But I mean, I guess your scouting season will probably begin in February, where you can lock it in a little bit more, find some permanent sets, and start looking at the area and how they're utilizing it, because they're going to use it the same way next year.
Yes. And deer are very much creatures of habits. The anomaly will always be us screwing up that habit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We do a dang good job of that, too. I do probably the best out of everybody. I'm telling you.
And one funny story that I told you about, I shot a tree this year. I'm going to have it mounted.
You're mounting a tree.
It was a joke, but
I mean, you might as well. Like, what a trophy.
Yeah. It was low light. The sun was setting. I had about 20 minutes of shooting light, and there he stood at about 125 yards. Tree about probably 3 inches around. I didn't see it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did the tree fell, correct?
Yes. And I just shot a tree.
It's so funny because it happens to all of us. Like, who knows how many broadheads I've left in trees that I'm just like, didn't see that one. Like, just, I'm sorry.
Yes, sure.
Like,
yeah,
it's so funny. Like, and it sucks, but deer's not wounded. You're not chasing a wounded deer. I mean, you're swallowing a little bit of pride, but
that was my big fear. I spent maybe 3 hours just in the dark, walking up and down, doing a zigzag pattern, making sure I didn't see any blood.
Yeah.
And 3 days later, I ended up killing that deer. So,
oh, really? That's crazy.
Yep. Same deer.
That's cool when it works out that way. I had a deer that I had been watching for a little bit, and I hadn't seen him in a while, and I was like, I wonder what happened to him. And Thanksgiving Day, I'm sitting there watching. I see him. He was probably about 900 yards away, and he was limping real bad. And I was like, something's wrong with him. And so put the super sneaky on him, got in the truck, ran over to the section to where I thought he was headed, and I ended up killing that deer at 30 yards. It was crazy. It was a great hunt. But I started cleaning that deer, and this is one of the one trophies that I kept out, like, from a deer, was there was a bolt about probably like 8-9 inch long bolt that someone had shot him head on, and it had started growing over. I mean, he had a visible limp, and I don't think he was doing too good because he was pretty skinny. But that's the one thing that I kept out of a deer, was the bolt. And I was just
That's
amazed
legit.
at how he started to recover from that, and it was still in him.
Yep. And that's a whole nother podcast about distances and how far you should be shooting an animal with a bow or a crossbow.
Yes.
But
Yeah, or just angles. I mean, because weird things,
yes,
just like bullets, like bolts and arrows, they just typically like arrows, like they just go right through, they smoke right through them. But man, if you don't take the right shot, like that's a problem. Which is a great segue. I mean, this is perfect. It's a great segue on shot placement and everything because you just got done with a competition. I met you at an NRL hunter match and became fast friends. And my gosh, you guys have improved as a team. I'll tell you that much.
yes.
How'd it go?
So we shot the Chaos Series match at the Chaos Predator. Big shout out to Chaos Concepts. They put on one heck of a match. At Steel City, Advance, Alabama, where we shot
Yep.
the NRL together. It went as well as it could. We didn't realize how well we were actually doing because day one, it was a torrential downpour. And if you're not familiar with, for the audience, Chaos Concept matches, they are a run and gun match where you are placed into a team order, 10-minute intervals, and you chase each other. And if you get caught, it's called being bumped. The team behind you, if they catch you, can come up onto the scenario that you're shooting and yell bump, and you have to leave.
Oh.
You can either stand there and wait for them to get done shooting or move on to the next stage, depending on where the team behind them is.
Oh my
So
God.
it's time overall and time and points overall.
That's crazy. I mean, there's got to be a certain level of fitness that you've got to go into that.
There is, especially out there with those hills. Yeah,
That's a
it
hard.
was-
Steel City is a great location. If you have a chance to go shoot there, go shoot at Steel City because that's one of the funnest like locations that you can to shoot long range and a wide variety of terrain.
100%, and there ain't a flat piece of ground there.
No, there is not.
When we did the NRL, we didn't do the long course. So remember how we went up that initial big hill, then you
Yep.
peak at the top at the treehouse? Well, that road goes down another hill and continues probably about a half a mile down, and then it comes back up a hill and then stops on that far side. So the whole course is 4 miles.
Jeez.
We shot 6 stages day one, and then 6 stages day two.
Dude, I bet you were exhausted. Because
100%.
it's not like hills. Like for a guy in South Louisiana, that's like a mountain. Like, it just is.
The rolling hills
And
of
you guys
Alabama.
finished really well. You guys bumped 3 teams, so that means that you made up like essentially like 30 minutes worth of time.
I don't know what the spread was, but sure.
Is that right? Like, so
Um,
if a team goes out 10 minutes and they go out and then you have to wait 10 minutes, I'm just trying to do simple math.
Yes, so essentially a half hour. But
Yeah.
and the guys that are shooting these competitions, a lot of them are still on active duty. That's as far as I'll go with that.
Yeah.
Super studs. You know what I mean? Like the team behind us, I timed it. The team that was behind us was about 3 minutes.
Really?
We had 3 minutes on the stage, yeah, because I would set my timer, and I finally figured out their time distance spread behind us, about 3 minutes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Whew. So
And
they're all
then,
trained up dudes, and
yes.
don't lie, like Tom and Dan are very trained up too. I mean, but like from where you guys started out last year to the success that you had this year, I mean, that transformation and finding a love for the sport, um, really has been impressive.
Yes. So Dan and I, right, been friends for years now. We were platoon sergeants together. Um, we have worked out a lot of our communication kinks. I mean, you know that NRL, it's all about communication,
Yep.
right? Target detection and communication. Being able to clearly depict what you're seeing in front of you for your partner.
Yeah.
And we've done a lot of rehearsing on that. How do we want to do it? Do we want to use a clock method? Do I want to scan left to right? You go right to left. Do we want to go near to far? You have to
Right.
work all those things out amongst yourself.
It's a huge thing. It's communication, but it's fun and it's educational. You learn a skill, and it helps you in the field.
100%. You can translate all of this to the field. Getting out of, so what I've noticed about a lot of the guys that I've hunted with over the years, what do? They go to a flat range, they
Yep.
zero their rifle from a bench, 100-meter zero, we're good to go. They might use a ballistic app to give them some sort of dope, but they don't go confirm any of that. And then they don't get out of their comfort zones. And then
Yeah.
they find themselves in a situation. Here's a good one: tripods. For some reason, I hear people saying it all the time. Oh, they're shooting off tripods. That's way easy. Have you ever shot off a tripod?
Have you ever shot at 750 yards off one with no rear
Right.
support?
It is. It is not easy.
It's not.
So, and the tripod is my nemesis. I'm
Oh.
figuring it out. I'm practicing with it, learning it. But yeah, the
I have a deep
tripod is
love
still
for
my
tripods.
nemesis.
That's my bank account.
Yeah.
Whether you're out in the virtual world or whether you're in reality, man, training helps. And Tom is definitely a practitioner of training and executing those skills at the highest level in the field. We sure do appreciate him and all of you for joining us. As typical, I'm KJ. That's Gun Talk Hunt. And you know what? I'm almost blanking on the close to this. But keep those muzzles pointed in a safe direction and always be on the hunt.